What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Jaiman White, and welcome to the Black and Yellow Beat.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I'm bringing you the biggest news and updates from our favorite Pittsburgh sports teams, and what a first episode we have today as the Pittsburgh Steelers were victorious over the Minnesota Vikings in the first ever regular season NFL game to be held in Ireland. I've got the Shamrock and Steel swag on. Appreciate you, Pastor Ron and Kristen Jaworski, for sending me the Pittsburgh care package. Had to get me ready for this first game in Ireland. It was a great game to watch, a good step for the Steelers as a whole. Had a little bit of heart attack material there at the end, as most of the games have over the past couple years watching the Steelers. But fun time. Again, great to see that American football is being brought over to the Emerald Isle. And the Steelers were, of course, the designated home team for this contest and won 24-21. Probably a little bit closer than it should have been at the end. Had thrown a little bit of dramatics there, typical Tomlin Steelers fashion. But, yeah, great first game in Ireland, and let's break it down, guys. All right, let's start with the Steelers offense that, really came together today, really gelled well, really played balanced, complementary football to that defense, and, had some real stars in the show. Early on was DK Metcalf, had a monstrous first half, had a couple of jump ball opportunities, had a couple opportunities on quick passes to try and move the chains and use his speed and strength to his advantage over some of these smaller defensive backs. Had a great jump ball where he really took advantage of the defender in that one. This was like the coming out party that he needed in Pittsburgh. This was his best offensive performance by far all season. And he capped that off with a huge 80-yard touchdown catch and run. Aaron Rodgers, quick pass, right over the middle. DK Metcalf on the catch and run, scored a touchdown, leads the NFL in yards after catch. Ended the day with 5 receptions, 126 yards, 1 touchdown. It was kind of quiet in the second half as the run game kind of took over and saw the Steelers to victory today. But Aaron Rodgers also, very competent performance, very consistent, very calculated, and high percentage stuff. Went 18 of 22 for 200 yards and a touchdown. Completed his first 10 passes on the day, and again was really in sync with DK Metcalf in that first half. And a lot of questions about the age and the mobility and does he still got it and stuff like that. And clearly he's still got the mind, cuz he's still got the mind. He's still got the fire. That is evident. He still has the spirit to go out there and win. It's possible that the New York Jets were the problem, as they have been for the last 50 years. So I think we're all right with Aaron Rodgers. It's been Mr. Rogers' neighborhood back in Pittsburgh, and it's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood over on the other side of the Atlantic now too, cuz as they get the dub in Dublin. But none of that happens without Kenneth Gainwell today, who's filling in for the injured Jaylen Warren, and he had a career day in many respects. 99 yards on the ground. That's a career high. 2 touchdowns, first multi-touchdown game in his career. And again, just played really well behind that offensive line that has been struggling a little bit, but really took a step forward, I think, today. That left side, still huge question marks, still just, too much getting to the quarterback from that side. But the right side looked really good, and Arthur Smith was able to use some jumbo sets and get the tight ends involved in the blocking and get some big personnel out there, and they really relied on that run today. And I think that's what the offense is going to look like a lot this year, regardless. I think today was kind of what it was supposed to look like all season long. A lot of running the ball, a lot of stuff on the ground. And letting Aaron Rodgers lead this offense and just do enough. We know very well that he is more than capable of taking over a game. And hasn't really had to yet this year. Seattle kind of was an opportunity, but they spat and sputtered in that one. But his job is managing the games and letting the run game do its thing and letting the defense win some of these football games. But the offense was firing on all kinds of cylinders today, and it was definitely the most complete performance from that group. And with DK Metcalf getting involved and Kenneth Gainwell, being a good running back too, it'll be good to have Jalen Warren back in that spot, and hopefully the rookie Caleb Johnson continues to develop as well. But again, that group looked really good today, and not playing in the preseason, didn't get to see a lot of these guys, but now it feels like every game they're taking another step up that ladder, and this offense looked much better today. So much more excited to see them in the future, but giving me these heart attacks, but I think we're going to be all right. As long as Mr. Rogers is slinging it and we're running it good, we're going to be all right, All right, let's talk about this defense today. This is Steeler football. The defense is what this team's identity is made of, and they really showed up today. Again, this group just, both ways, offense and defense, the whole team is just taking little steps, it feels like, through every game that they complete this year. And today, the defense showed up again. Last week was really their coming out party against New England. A lot of doubters, a lot of outside noise saying, this is this great defense. Where are they on the stat sheets? How come they're, letting teams run all over them? And, still need to shore up some things, certainly. And, the defensive backfield is just, hammered with injuries, which is unfortunate, but that group showed up well today as well, and they're making the best use of the players that they have in those positions. Deshaun Elliott came back from injury today. He had the first interception of the day and the last pass breakup that sealed the game for the Steelers. The Steelers had 2 interceptions today. Could have been 3. James Pierre had a great play in the fourth quarter and just bobbled the ball and wasn't able to possess it. But 2 strong interceptions from Deshaun Elliott and TJ Watt batting that thing down at the line of scrimmage and coming away with that ball. 6 sacks, for the Steelers defense today. They were living in that backfield. Keanu Benton was doing his best McGregor strut every time he hit the quarterback. Patrick Queen had a couple big moments on third down. Nick Herbig was in the backfield doing his thing in replacement of the injured Alex Highsmith, and of course TJ Watt has his own sack, looking like the defensive player of the year caliber player that we know him to be, this high-paid, great edge rusher, really making his impact felt all over the field today. And this defense had kind of a rough second half, let Minnesota kind of claw back and gave them a shot at victory, but were able to shut it down. Peyton Wilson had a great tackle to shut down any chance of Jordan Addison scoring on a big blown coverage touchdown. And that, the offense went down to score anyway, but led a lot of clock by, tackling him inside of bounds and not letting that play go for, it was like 80 yards, I think. So good, again, the defense and the offense, but all facets of the team, they're taking these steps. And the defense is looking great. The past 2 weeks has looked like this Steelers defense that we're used to seeing. This Steelers defense that is so highly touted with guys like Cam Hayward and TJ Watt and Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Queen and so many others that are making their marks in the league. Darius Slay, another one. So, again, another big step for this defense, and they're really feels like they're coming together and they're finding their identity again. And that leads to winning football. Again, great complementary game from the offense and defense. Defense definitely were on their heels a little bit in the second half, but they were able to finish strong, get the pass breakup they needed again to Deshaun Elliott, and was able to do his jig and the old Irish jig in the end zone, do his thing back from injury. So great showing today from the defense, great showing from the team. Overall, well-rounded, complementary football. Looking forward to future performances as this team continues to grow together and take these strides throughout the season. This was a statement moment for the NFL as a whole as they broke new ground in Ireland, having the first ever regular season game over there. The Steelers, of course, played in the first ever NFL game there in 1997 in a preseason contest against the Chicago Bears, and a lot of this was former owner and ambassador to Ireland Dan Rooney's dream, bringing football to Ireland and bringing prosperity and peace to the island that his family draws their heritage from. Hugely impactful in the Irish community, in the Pittsburgh community, calling for peace, prosperity, charity, and opportunity in both of those communities that he was so fond of, and of course was the former ambassador to Ireland under President Obama in his first term in office. And Mike Tomlin was able to speak on that a little bit post-game, and just a really cool full circle moment as the Steelers really are Ireland's home team, and we're able to get the job done today in Dublin against the Vikings.
We talked a lot about the late, great Ambassador Rooney last night. I know he's smiling at us today, man. It's just an honor, man, to fulfill his vision, to bring NFL football to Dublin, man, and been thinking about him a lot on a personal level, and so I'd be remiss if I didn't say that.
All right, cuz, there's a great first episode of the Black and Yellow Beat. All right, watching the Steelers victorious in the Emerald Isle against the Minnesota Vikings. They are moving on to their bye week, and they will face off against their first divisional opponent of the year, the Cleveland Browns, on October 12th. As for me, you can find me here on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm just out here drinking my tea, cuz. Got my Turner's Iced Tea mix, got my Steelers cup, cuz we're rocking and rolling all day long. The Black and Yellow Beat, brought to you by Jaiman White and Jaiman Cole Media. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, go Steelers, cuz.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.